Hey free-to-play gang, welcome back to another video. So you have heard of the normal Disney scar. Today we have the Alolin scar. Okay, so let's quickly go through all of his skills and then I'll show you guys some of the places where I feel like he works in, and then afterwards I'll give my final thoughts about him. I mean, based on his R0, which is not much. I mean, okay, honestly, I feel like he's really good at R0. At R6, he changes just a little bit. Not that important in my opinion. Anyway, first skill, Sting Hook. Attacks one enemy, it's 120% attack. If the enemy is inflicted with bleed, deals bleed damage immediately, and then you inflict bleed for 2 turns afterwards. So he has a continuous upkeep of bleeding on all of his skills actually. So his second skill, Plague Famine, this is like his main selling point in my opinion. So if an enemy makes their allies bleed and early, then all of Alolin's ability cooldowns reduced by 1 turn, triggers once per turn. And finally, his third skill, Veiled Gust, gains stealth for 2 turns, attacks all enemies 3 times, damage dealt is 40% of attack for a total of 120%, and each hit has a 40% chance of dispelling 1 buff from each enemy. So this is a buff strip in itself. Now each hit inflicts bleed for 2 turns and final damage plus 10% because I have him at R1 right now. And now his captain ability increases attack in point war and knockout by 30%, which is quite forgettable. Alright, now let's move on with his resonances and why I say that his resonances are kind of like mid, right? So his R2, when attacking, 80% chance of ignoring resist, it's like, yeah, whatever, right? R4, upon successfully dispelling or stealing buffs, inflict max HP limit minus 3% on the target for each buff dispelled or stolen. So this is very similar to what Tricky has. And his R6, his third skill, inflicting bleed, cannot be resisted, which, like I said before, this kind of like wastes his R2 because he has an 18% chance of ignoring resist anyway. So this only really benefits his first skill, which in my opinion is like not worth that much. Now finally, his Ascensions. He has 10% HP, 7 speed, and 20% attack. Nothing much to write home about. Okay, so for the first part of this video, let's test out how he works. So we're going to use Clara to push his AP up so that he can take the first turn. So we're going to push our AP like so, and we're going to drop our third skill here. And we have quite a few number of bleeds, right? So we have a bunch of bleeds here. I think every single enemy has a bleed. Okay, very nice. And as you can see, our Alolin, he has 3 turns of cooldown right now. Now we're just going to wait for this Esper over here to cleanse. Okay, so now she cleansed a bunch of debuffs here, right? A bunch of bleeds, right? So all in all, that only reduces cooldown by 1 turn. So like the passive suggests, it only triggers 1 time per turn. Alright, now let's move on to the next natural question, which I'm sure all of you guys are gonna ask, is how does he interact with Dalen? Right, you guys are curious about that question, right? It's not just me. Okay, so we're gonna push our AP like so. And of course, what I'm trying to get at is Dalen's third skill, which, if we take a look at what his third skill does again, attacks all enemies and has a 75% chance of dispelling all buffs and debuffs from all of the targets as well. So we're gonna do this. Just want to double check that Alolin has 3 turns of cooldown here, so we use our third skill. We removed all the bleeding stacks, and Alolin's cooldown is still at 3 turns. So he doesn't work with Dalen, unfortunately. So Dalen kind of mid. Now, there are a couple of places where he works at right now. The first is going to be the Soaring Goat. So I am going to be using him here for the Soaring Goat, and I'm going to show you how he works and why I feel like if you do not have some of the Espers that I'm using here, then he's going to be an excellent addition to this team. So we're going to focus more on the Soaring Goat team, and you'll see that whenever we kill these ads over here, they will die and they will remove all the debuffs on themselves. And because of that, that also reduces the cooldown on his third skill, as you can see really soon over here. Okay, so we killed all of these guys, we got the Plague Famine. And you notice that when we multi-kill, that only reduces our cooldown by 1 turn. We can also confirm it over here. Okay, I haven't even used the skill just yet. But that will only reduce his cooldowns by just 1 turn. It doesn't actually stack. So all these deaths, they are all considered under the same turn. Now, another very funny situation is that you also notice that whenever we are killing these enemies without the bleeding stacks, he actually has his cooldown reduced. And I'm not sure why, because the thing is, if you compare this to the VR Battlegrounds, for example, when the middle Esper cleanses her team, that does not actually reduce the cooldowns on Alolin's third skill. So I'm not sure why is it that in this situation, Alolin's cooldowns are actually being reduced even without inflicting any bleeding stacks at all. So this is wild. I'm gonna assume that this is gonna be a bug, but if this is a bug, then that's gonna take away from his overall utility if they do choose to fix this. So obviously the reason why he's gonna be good here is because all of the turns that he takes, he will land AoE attacks because he's always gonna get his third skill up whenever his turn comes around. So ideally, you don't really want him to be super fast, you don't want him to be super slow as well. You want him to be around the middle speed level of all of your Espers. So if your Espers are around like maybe 200 speed in total, then you would also want him to be at around 200 speed so that he can throw his third skill very regularly and so that he don't use his first skill, right? So yeah. as you can see, we are always using our third skill over here, which is dealing decent damage, but for the most part, it's for stacking a lot of the debuffs on the boss, which is this debuff over here. So it's probably one of the very few espers in this game who can consistently land AoE attacks, aside from Zora, of course. So this will be one place that he will shine in. Alright, so there we go. Let's take a look at our score on the Soaring Goat team. So as you can see, Alolin is not doing a lot of damage because his main thing is just to stack a lot of debuffs on the boss so that you can zero him as often as we can. Now, naturally, he wouldn't perform as well as some of the other AoE espers that we already have. So we have Gabrielle here, we have Camille, Zora. These espers are going to be extremely good. If you have Shenpin, obviously Shenpin is going to be fantastic here. But for the most part, if you're like a mid-game player or you don't have like a whole slew of espers to choose from, then Alolin is going to be a pretty decent choice, even at R0. Now for today's final showcase, we only have two things over here. So the first was Celestial Anomaly, the second is going to be Point War, and we are actually going to try to use him against two very specific enemies. Number one, we're going to try to use him against Jin Yu Yao comps such as this. So I have not actually tested this out just yet, okay? So I've only built a team, and I would definitely prefer if I could use Feng Nuxi instead of Pritzker over here. But you guys are going to say that this is going to be a Feng Nuxi showcase, which, yeah, I just want to avoid that. Okay, so I do not know whether this is going to work out. So the reason why these espers are here is we want to control them a little bit just to make sure that they are stun locked. And at the same time, we also want to use Tricky so that whenever the Jin Yu Yao cleanses their team, which includes the bleeding stacks from Alolin, then they're going to take more damage from the Tricky as well. So yeah, these two espers here, they are mostly for the combo. The rest, they are just here for turn cycling, controls, and yeah, that kind of stuff. So anyway, let's take a look. So we're going to run this on auto because I don't manual stuff at all. So in terms of turn order, this should work out for the start. So we're going to... Oh my god, we got frozen! Okay, I forgot about... I've been using Clara for so long that I forgot that that actually happens. Okay, so we get all the bleeding stacks, and the Jin Yu Yao is going to remove it. She gets hit. And wait, did that reduce the cooldown of Alolin? Hold on. Let me check real quick. Yeah, that reduced the cooldown of Alolin, so that's fine. It might seem like we wasted a lot of bleeding stacks, but it's completely fine because we can land a lot of debuffs, as you can see there, right? So more debuffs, and she strips more, she cleanses herself more, and we're just going to throw in more of our third skill, so on and so forth. And of course, the stealth buff is extremely useful because we're not going to be prioritized by the Jin Yu Yao. So the Jin Yu Yao is actually going to return the debuffs onto my Tricky. But obviously, one huge issue here is that we don't have any healers, so we're up against 5, his entire team is full of healers, so we may not be able to outlast them. That's what I'm trying to say here. But with enough AP absorption, enough stuns and all that kind of stuff, I think we do not need a healer. That's why I have Pritzker here instead of an Ahmed. We're actually doing pretty okay. Holy shit, we are doing much better than I thought. This is like literally the first time that I'm testing out this team. Very nice. So our only main issue here is against the Frost set, but I think we should be fine, right? We should be fine. As long as we can control them, which we have on several different espers, we should be more than okay. And we lengthen the stuns with the Tricky here as well. Fantastic. Alright, so there goes their Cecilia. She's going to revive everything else, and we are just going to see the same thing happen here because you see that she's going to return all of the... Oh, ouch. Ouch! That is a lot of bleeding stacks. I didn't quite consider that, but yeah. Oh my god. Oh, that hurt a lot. Alright, super cool. This was pretty interesting, but I do feel like Tricky is going to be the main DPS here just because of what the goal is for this setup. So, oh wow, Tricky is not even the biggest DPS. Alolin, okay, because I think Alolin threw in a lot of AoE attacks, and I will show you his stats in just a little bit. Okay, we have another R6 Jin Yu Yao. Wow. Okay, so here are his stats. I did prioritize quite a bit of speed on him because, like I said, you want him to kind of be on par with the rest of your espers here in terms of speed. So all my espers here, they are above 250, so you kind of want to push his speed to as high as possible. So the rest of his stats goes into his attack, crit damage, some decent crit rate, and it's better to have more accuracy, but the thing is he multi-hits on his third skill here, so that's gonna be fine. We do not need to focus too much on accuracy for the most part. Let's try this out. This is potentially more problematic than the previous one, because not only is Jin Yu Yao R6, we also have a height here. So let's see how this works. Okay, hopefully we don't get frozen. Okay, we didn't get frozen. We got AP swapped. Abigail is gonna buff her shield just for more protection. Nice. Okay, so that's it. And now we just try to stun stuff as much as possible. But unfortunately, when we get returned by the Jin Yu Yao, thankfully she didn't stun my Tricky. Yeah, so if we have Pritzkers here, that's why I say that I don't want to use Pritzker here. I prefer using Feng Nuxi because the cooldown reset is more effective against Jin Yu Yao than Pritzker's stuns. The stuns on Pritzker is just gonna push his Jin Yao. And oh my god, okay, so it seems like when they have AoE damage dealers, that is gonna suck a lot for us. That is gonna suck a lot. But we still have Abigail here who can revive. So we may still get this. We may have this. Okay, nice. And now he's stealth. Very nice. Okay, so now the control snowballing happens, right? Ouch. Okay, never mind. That is a dead Jin Yao, but we still have to deal with the Cecilia who will revive stuff. Okay, but clearly, without the Jin Yao in the mix here, that is not going to allow us to spam our AoE as much as possible. So maybe Tricky is not even that good of an option here. Because Tricky kills Jin Yao way too fast, and we want Jin Yao to stay alive so that she can continue to cleanse her team so that our cooldowns will continuously be reduced. And we are absolutely getting clapped. Oh no, rip. I think I need to swap things up a little bit. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna use Feng Nusi just to see whether this team functions better with the Nusi. So I'm gonna drop Pritzker, and Nusi just gonna come in for like just this one fight, okay? Chill out, relax. Okay, if that's the case, I might want to drop Abigail just so that we can combo the Feng Nusi with the Tia here. So I think I'm actually just gonna bring back the Pritzker. Yeah, I'm actually not super sure. I kind of want to have Abigail here, but if I put Abigail here, that's gonna affect the combo between Nusi and Tia. So let's just try this out. Alright, cooldown reset. So it's like, what the hell anyway? And we got stunned. So we were not able to combo as well. Okay. What the heck? This is not gonna work out. Okay, so I'm thinking I will drop the Tricky in place of Abigail. In terms of buff stripping, we already have two buff strippers, which is Nusi and Alolin. So I think it's still gonna work out pretty fine for us. But in this situation, we are not going to benefit a lot from the Nusi combo with TA, but all in all, we still have a lot of speed buff, we still have a lot of AP movement and all that kind of stuff, so it's gonna work out anyway. Wait, what? Hold on, what? Oh, because, right, Abigail wasn't pushed all the way to the start. I see. I was just a little bit puzzled why Nusi took the turn before Abigail, but yeah. Okay, so now the goal of this current setup is that we do not want to kill the Jin Yao too fast. We want Jin Yao to reduce our cooldowns. That's our goal. Yeah, so we can spam our third skill like so, which is not really dealing a whole ton of damage, right? Okay. This is not gonna work. I think height is probably a very big problem for us. Yeah, I mean, that's a given, because whenever you land debuffs on the height, he's just gonna get stronger. So if we are gonna go up against a Jin Yao, we should try to avoid heights as well, like heights like this. Okay, maybe we can try it out against this comp, but I'm also looking at challenging R6 Sally comps because they already have the Sweet Harvest at the start. So whenever one of the R6 Sally's allies take a turn, that's gonna instantly reduce the cooldown on Alolin, which I feel like it's more impactful than up against the Jin Yao, for example. Yeah, so even our Nusi was not even able to cooldown reset the Jin Yao. Oh no, I think it was because... Was it because we landed stuns? I wasn't really paying attention. Alright, spam, more spam. Okay, our DPS is not really... it's honestly not even that good. So yeah, you guys let me know what are your thoughts about using Alolin against Jin Yao, and eventually, hopefully, we get to see Sally's also. A bit underwhelming, I must say, right? I wasn't expecting so little DPS, 51,000. That is not enough. But okay, to be fair, what I was hoping for is that he would just keep spamming his third skill. So his damage don't need to be super strong, so long as he can spam it, but he's not really spamming it either. Okay, so I think it's 100% because of the height. The height made the fight extremely difficult earlier on. Okay, we do not have an R6 Sally, but let's just try out against this Sally. So hopefully she takes a turn and she does what she needs to do, but shit, I shouldn't be using a Nusi in this case. Yeah, I should definitely not be using a Nusi here. She's gonna reset, right? Oh no, rip. Okay, I mean, it's not an issue at all that Nusi is here, because Nusi is just gonna cooldown reset and we are still gonna win. She's gonna guarantee that we win. That's the main thing. Okay, you know what? We're just completely decimating this team over here. So I think we are going to quit and we're gonna try it again, and I'm gonna remove Nusi. Now we definitely do not want to bring in Tricky because that Sally is just gonna die super fast. Instead, I think we can, you know what? We can just bring in Ethan. I think this is gonna be fine. R0 Ethan, by the way. Okay, so Devouring Void, nice. We didn't remove any of their buffs. And we got the Sally stunned. Fantastic. Oh wow. Okay, so do you see that we removed the immunity on the
JJ
from the Viewed Gust over here? Oh, nice. So that the JJ death actually reduced the cooldown on our Viewed Gust, which is unfortunate because if we had our third skill up again, we would have removed the standoff. Okay, nice. Fantastic. Okay, so even without the Feng Nusi, we are still dealing. We are still doing super well. Like the Sally is not even moving. That's the main thing, right? Alright then. Sorry, Daddy Donor. Okay, I literally cannot find any R6 Sallys at all. I can't even find anything less than an R6. So Sallys are extremely rare now. For some reason, I think it's probably because of the Tether change. So I think for the most part, we are just going to do this again on a junior. Just one final showcase. So this team has a Nusi here. This might suck for us because the cooldown extensions are going to hurt. But because we have the speed lead, hopefully we have the turn advantage and we see something really nice happen. And the thing is, I feel like in this situation, we kind of want to bring the tricky because we need the early game buff strip. So in case they have immunities and all of that, right? I just want to get it out of the way. I just forgot. We also have another buff strip on tier. So we actually have a triple buff strip here. So yeah, interesting stuff. Anyway, let's see how this goes. Alright, yeah, so they have a ton of buffs. So I suspected this to be the case because right now the changes to tier allows her to buff strip, which means players are likely going to run the shield set along with immunity set so that they can protect their team from incoming strips from TA, right? Okay, so we got clapped anyway. Wow, ouch, 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 very ouch. Okay, no go, no go. You know what? I think we should fight fire
with fire.
Cooldown reset. Nice, we got double cooldown reset on the Feng Lucy. Stuns, debuffs. Ouch, we didn't get the cooldown reset on the Jinya, it seems. Or is it because she was R6? Wow, ouch, crap. Jinya's super OP, dude. Okay, I kind of hate the fact that even if we are stealth, we can still get Avatar procced, which is so dumb. Okay, that's not gonna happen. Okay, anyway, I'm still in the testing phase. I'm still trying to figure things out and figure out like what's the best way for us to use this new Alolin. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below how you feel about him, and especially from this showcase. So I was actually quite excited to test him out because I thought that he's going to change the landscape a little bit against the current Jinyu Yao heavily used meta. And of course the R6 Sally meta as well, which we are not able to find. I think partly because I'm currently at point war 16. So for some reason people are just going crazy in point war and you know, we're just not able to climb as fast as we normally could. And also partly because my defenses are just going crazy right now. Like everyone's just destroying my tanky defense. Like if you take a look at my win rate right now, it's like full of losses. It's a joke. Okay, but anyway, leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed today's content. If you did, don't forget to thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And subscribe for more Dislyte content. Now with that said, this has been Dairy Free to Play. And as always, I will see you in the next video.